So,
Yeah.
I have another question too.
Okay.
Okay, so in addition to forgiving your rapist and everything, did you
Mhm.
forgive your ex-boyfriend too, who had abused you?
Yeah,
Working
I did. And it's funny because my sister, my best friend from childhood who moved here with me, I ended up, hooking her up with my ex's brother. And they were together, then they broke up for a few years, and then they got back together and stayed together for 15 years until he passed away. When he passed, I went to the funeral, and it bothered me because I was like, I know I'm going to have to see him and my ex, and I hadn't seen him in 20 years.
on? Right.
I couldn't have done that had it not been for the Lord, because it's like I prayed and I said, I don't want to go to this funeral because I don't want to see him. I don't know
Right.
how it's going to be. And literally, sis, when he saw me, he had lost his twin brother. So, the Lord, the Lord kind of put me in my place, because he was like, it's not even about you.
Right.
Like, you're worried about your interaction with him. It's not even about you and him. He just lost his twin brother. So I'm
Right.
almost sure he's not going to be really thinking about you. And I walked up to him, and he was shocked, because I had my mask on, I had my glasses. And I just, I said, I'm so sorry, because his brother was like my brother, because he dated my sister and he was the brother of my ex. So
Right.
it was heartbreaking. So I just, hugged him, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, that you lost him. And, he thanked me for coming. So when I was a teenager, we all created alter egos.
Mhm.
And my alter ego was Miss Alizé Divine.
Mhm.
So as everybody that I met, for the most part, outside of my high school, called me Alizé,
Right.
or Zay. So that's who, I mean, he knew my real name, but he had called me Zay for so long. He was like, I don't even know what to call you. And I said, you can just call me Kai. And he was like, oh, I almost, he was introducing me to somebody. And he was like, oh, I almost said my girl. And I'm like, no, you did not. It has been 20 years. Like,
Right.
you didn't almost slip up and say that. So in that moment when I got home, and they were drinking and smoking, and the old me would have been like, yep, pass it, pass it, pass it.
Right.
But I sat there, I was like, can you get me a bottle of water, please? And they were
For
like,
real.
water? And I'm like, yeah, water. And they were like, they passing the blunt. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. So I'm like leaning, you pass,
Yeah, I
pass
know.
Dutchy, but I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm not about to sit out here in College Park and smoke weed. Like, no. So forgiveness looks like being able to see somebody that broke your heart, that physically abused you, and be able to console them in a moment where they need consoling. So to answer
Yeah.
your question, yeah, I most certainly forgave him.